Hey, welcome everybody. It is 7:00. Time for Sci-Fi Distilled. Welcome back, Mary Beth, and welcome back, Brian and Dave. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Right.
So tonight we're continuing on the Galileo push. We're talk about the Galileo 7 episode, but before we get into that, we are going to have some news, I believe.
We got news. I got three items of news tonight, including what Mr. Shatner was doing at the Saturn. Oh wait, but before that, if those of you who like pop print media, there's two things on newsstands now. One is the Supernatural 20th edition, but the other is the Star Trek 60th edition. That's been on newsstands for a while, and it will be leaving in April. So for those of you who like this kind of stuff, go get it now. All right, moving on. In the news tonight, Rizzo, I want your opinion on this stuff. News from the well, and it is a very deep well. Schwarzenegger says he will be back as Conan for a sequel called King Conan. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that Schwarzenegger and Christopher McQuarrie are going to try to relaunch the Conan the Barbarian franchise. McQuarrie has directed 4 Mission Impossibles. He's going to write and direct for 20th Century Studios. Rizzo, what do you think? Arnold's 78 now.
Okay, let's break this into two pieces. I think you could. I think Conan is probably one that's probably ready for a reboot. I mean, it's been long enough. Why Shatner? He's ancient. He's going to be what, his grandfather or something?
He's the king. He's King Conan now.
He's King Conan.
Yeah, he's King Conan. So he won't be the run around looking buff and naked. We'll get a new guy to run around and look buff and naked. We'll get a young guy for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I guess. I don't know. But let's face it, the first 2 movies were not exactly Ben-Hur.
No, but people love those movies for some reason.
I know. They have a certain... As far as because that was during that whole...
It's Arnold running around hot naked.
That's it was that part of the 80s was very popular with sword and sorcery. We had a lot of sword and sorcery type movies.
Yeah, and then they had like Red Sonja or whatever.
Yeah, that was another one. That one wasn't very good. He was in that as well, by the way. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. We'll see.
Well, that's happening. All right, moving on with the news tonight. Last week, we talked about Nathan Fillion going around collecting Firefly cast members. Fillion says there will be a big announcement this Sunday, March 15th at AwesomeCon, where they are all scheduled to appear. And the fandom right now, I was just kind of looking on social media, the fandom is in such a frenzy over what it might be that if it's something dumb, they might turn on them. Like they might, people are like freaking out hard.
If it's not a reboot of the show, anything less than that is going to be.
My money is on radio show.
You think radio? I think animated follow up like Babylon 5 had.
I don't know. Disney was talking about relaunching it, and the actors are still young enough to pull it off.
Yeah.
So the question remains with me is if you do it, and Disney does not have a great track record of taking care of precious IPs. We'll say.
Yeah.
They have to get, and I know he's not popular, but they have to get Joss back, or at least any of the other writers from that show, the original show.
The writers, yes. Joss admittedly is persona non grata nowadays. However, I would take note that Sarah Michelle Gellar is relaunching Buffy without Joss. So if she can do that, then, and I would trust Nathan and Alan Tudyk to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was Joss didn't write all those 13 episodes. There were other writers, so they can pull in some of those other people, and I think pull it off without him. But they have to don't do what Paramount did and go, oh, we don't want anybody that had anything ever to do with Star Trek because we are going to make new Star Trek. And the people working on Star Trek don't know anything about Star Trek. So if they do that with Firefly, it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I would hope Nathan and Alan, I feel like they'd speak up, but maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. All right, finally tonight, guys, the Saturn Awards were last Sunday night. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. On the movie side, they gave it to Avatar, whatever the recent Avatar is for sci-fi, Wicked for fantasy, and Frankenstein for horror. Have you guys seen the new Frankenstein? It's a romance. It's a romance movie. What the hell?
Well, however, it was a romance movie. I mean,
it was romance. It was a romance book show, but on the TV side, they did give Andor Best TV, and they gave Diego Luna and Stellan Skarsgård Best Actor and Supporting Actor, which I 1,000% absolutely do agree with. However, the moment of the night came when Brent Spiner and Jonathan Frakes presented the Saturn Hall of Fame Award to William Shatner, who graciously accepted it with a long explanation of how he came to sing Rocket Man. How Rocket Man is now a metaphor.
He didn't really sing it. He more of like poetically spoke the lyrics.
Huh.
Yeah, he goes into the whole story as to how and why and what, like how that all happened. But and he's like, I just didn't get on the cruise.
Not one of his shining moments was that.
Well,
he's got
really interesting because I just edited the latest Treksperts video, and Darren was on the Trek cruise. Interviewed William Shatner. He sang Rocket Man on the cruise,
yeah.
And he's talking to Darren about his take on Rocket Man in the interview.
Alone, he found the word alone.
Yeah,
and then,
So you saw it. Yeah, it's really interesting that those two things would match up like that.
Yeah, he basically says all of that. The interview, not the interview, him accepting the award is on YouTube for those of you who want to go find it. Just Google Saturn Awards, William Shatner, and he explains all of that.
I wonder if he was working on that speech when he was talking to Darren. That's really interesting.
I don't know if he knew he got the award. Well, maybe he did know he got the award. Yeah, I don't know. But he talks about being on the cruise, and he talks about singing it and working on the song with the band on the cruise.
Oh, okay.
And like trying to sort it out. So yeah, it's very, very Shatner. It's 1,000% Shatner.
I gotta find that Saturn Awards. Okay.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. All right, Rizzo, what are we drinking tonight while we talk about the Galileo?
Since the Galileo 7 was going to investigate a quasar, we have a drink called a quasar, right? So this is layered drink, so you have to kind of do the layering. If you don't know how to do that, you do that with a bar spoon. But so it's apple brandy, pear liqueur, Malibu lemon, and then you just kind of layer it. Yeah. So
it stays layered.
Well, yeah, if you do it right.
Bill Sotak was on that cruise along with our friends John and Annie, and also Bruce and Andrea.
Bruce and Andrea, yeah.
They probably all got to see Shatner singing Rocket Man live.
That cruise has gotten very popular. I remember when it first started, they were practically giving away cabins on that thing. And
the cruise, they've sold their starting sales now for next year, and I bet it's like half.
Well, I mean, especially this year, it's being the 60th. I know Las Vegas is already sold out, pretty much for their. I think the only thing you might be able to get is a day pass, for one day. But the weekend I think is sold out already. So it's going to be busy.
Yep.
Any other news, or that's it? We got right. Okay, so let's go, guys. The Galileo project. Where are we at? How are we doing?
We're doing very well. Very well. Oh, there you go.
Bill and Leonard at probably some early awards. Anyway, go ahead.
We're doing very well. We're 2.5 times our original target, but we don't feel like we're finished. We're past build the building and make the best building, and the oh damn it,
observation.
This is great. He gets stuck on this
metal block.
I don't know what it is, but he cannot say it.
I wrote it down. Observation deck. The observation deck.
Obsboo.
It's such a mental block. The observation deck is in our rearview mirror, and now we're working on the video wall. And we've talked about it on the show before. It's to make the back of the room look like the landing bay or a planet or space or whatever we want to make it look like. And now I'm doing a Dave.
Now you're doing Dave. No, if you're doing Dave, it'd be this. You're giving Dave a hard time the other night because he kept putting his hands in front of the camera. So that's for reference.
So we're 256,000, which is great. There's still lots of space on the Wall of Fame if people want to join. It's not too late. It looks a lot better than that now. Dave had a model built of what it looked like when they got it before the restoration.
Dave had a model of the pre-restored shuttle made
from Neil Smith. Amazing.
Yeah,
he did it's beautiful. Job. It is a nice model. Yeah, he did a really nice job with that.
So there's still lots of opportunities to pledge. Believe it or not, we still have pieces of the original 11-foot Enterprise available.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a original Enterprise on a plaque paired with a piece of the Galileo together. So that is still available, and just pieces of the Galileo were also available for much less. You just need a piece of the Galileo, but we're running out of those. I think there's 4 each left, and that's going to be it because
somebody buy
a finite number of pieces. Yeah,
somebody buy them so that I don't buy them, please.
You know, it occurs to me that sometimes
Dave,
Mr. Shatner auctions stuff off at the Admiral's dinner. Perhaps he'd be willing to auction a few things off for you guys.
We could do that again.
Yeah.
We sold we sold a piece of the Galileo at that auction for double what it costs on our website. Just so you know, the prices, that's the price index at an auction for that. Dave, why don't you tell them about Sunday?
Oh yeah, well we're gonna do something really fun, a little bit like an old style telethon countdown with some amazing guests. So we're got a lineup that's going to start with Mike and Denise Okuda, and then Darren Dockerman, Doug Drexler, and we're also having Jim Payne from Trek World on with us. And we're going to be on from 10 a.m. Sunday morning and through the noon end of the Kickstarter and probably a little after to celebrate. So yeah, we're really excited to do a whole.
And that's all East Coast. That's all East Coast time. Sorry, California.
Right. And right here on Sci-Fi Distilled channel.
That's right.
Yeah, and much thanks to Mike for facilitating and his technical abilities to make it happen. Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah. Right here on Sci-Fi Distilled, we're going to do an old-fashioned telethon.
Yep.
Yeah.
No Jerry Lewis, unfortunately, though.
Nope. Just us. Just us chickens. Yeah, but we're excited with all the guests and to celebrate. And I have no idea where we're going to be that day. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. We are counting down to Sunday.
Yeah.
So
it's been a great response. We still need everyone's help. The as much as we've gotten done, the volume or video wall, I really think is the last key thing to really make the room shine. And I'm very excited and hopeful that we can reach a level where we can pull it off and pull it off well, because I think that's going to make the room magic, and give the Galileo the home everybody would imagine. So I got my fingers crossed that we can get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got late breaking news, and thank you, John Capes. Mr. Shatner's had a bit of an accident on one of his horses and is undergoing surgery for a shattered shoulder.
Oh my goodness. I saw that come up, and I thought that was an old news story because he's had so many horse accidents.
Because he did have a horse accident a while back.
Yeah.
Apparently, these are all, the byline is all like 4 hours ago. So yeah.
My goodness.
Wow. Oh, that's not good. So, well, our best wishes to Bill, of course.
Yeah. Nothing stops him.
Hopefully he recovers. Of course, at his age, it's always a slow road.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And look at him at pretty much 95 riding horses, and
I know this is a strange question. Does it say if it's his right or left shoulder?
Let me look.
Wait, should we worry about signatures? Exactly.
Right shoulder.
Oh, goody. Well, this is going to make it for interesting.
So now his signature just went up in value.
This may actually wait. Stop. Wait. Hang on. This is dated March 11th. What's today? March 11th. But it says the Star Trek alum who turns 95 later this month opened up about the scary incident during the the Saturn Awards. So it had to have been surely before the cruise.
It was the old injury then.
Yeah, I wonder if it is.
Reporting this like it was news. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 articles, all dated like today, 33 minutes ago. William Shatner's had a horse injury. No, guys.
Yes, he has. But a while back.
So this is that same injury he had, maybe 2 years ago.
Same injury.
Yeah.
You gotta love.
Like 2 hours ago.
That's the internet for you.
He was talking about it at the Saturn Awards. He went
internet. Yeah, that was just like last night or the night before, right? The Saturn was it Sunday night?
Saturn Awards was Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. So
crazy. me so
Wow,
crazy.
we just went through a lot in a few moments.
You just gave me a
together.
heart attack there, John Capes.
Right. So okay. So any other comments on the Kickstarter? I mean, we can obviously circle back where we didn't, but I just want to make sure that we covered everything for the moment.
Yeah.
No, it's going well. People have asked about the Shatner stuff that we had lined up, the dinner and the photo op, but that's all sold out. You had to get in early.
Yep, and some lucky people are going to have an amazing dinner.
Yeah.
I do want to say for people who can't attend the event or want to be a supporter, I really am a believer in the $500 level Wall of Fame. What are we calling it? Is that what we're calling it?
The Wall of Fame. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get your name permanently on the wall in the Galileo's home. And you're getting this great package with your own replica of the plaque and with your name on it, with all the items that we've produced custom for this. And that's enshrined forever. And it's also very helpful to us getting to our goals. I think it's a great one for people to choose and something you keep forever. And whenever you go to the tour, you can find your name right there.
And if you're going to be there in June, you'll have the hat, you'll have the T-shirt, you'll have the glasses, you have that stuff, the pin that you can wear and show off in June.
Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, I would recommend that.
You get a lot. You get a lot for that. It's a lot of money, but it's also you get a lot for that $500.
Yeah, and the permanent and your own plaque for your own office to have is it's a good package. I like it. Yeah. I do.
Cool.
We should do that one too, Brian. I don't think we've done that one yet for you and me. We should get on the Wall of Fame. What were you
get ourselves on the Wall of Fame?
Are you guys are at the bottom now?
We're so busy with everyone else.
It's been so late. Yeah, that was the other thing. You get your name on the Wall of Fame in the order in which you pledge. So earlier you pledge, the higher up you are.
I could be somewhere in there, middle. I think.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my plug for that, which I love that particular tier.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, just remember we'll be on 10 o'clock Sunday Eastern time, and you can watch the really cool marathon of people more interesting than us.
Yep, actual people who worked on actual Star Trek, not us fake people who work on fake Star Trek.
Exactly. We just play it on TV, sort of. No, we don't. Actually, they do. They play it on. All right. So Galileo 7, this was season 1. This was the first time we saw the shuttle, I believe.
I've lost audio. So
you lost audio? Can anybody else hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Just Dave.
This happens to Dave.
Okay, Dave's getting old.
Things are weird. I'm moving, and I can see you all moving on our stream, but when I pop over to Facebook, I'm not moving. So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Frozen.
Anyway, so this was the first episode we saw the actual Galileo, and actually it's interesting because they used all the shots of the model that they used for this episode is the same one they used for all the other episodes that had the shuttle in it. So they never reshot. They never reshot anything. They just did it. They just reused there's Dave. Now you guys have swapped positions on my screen. Anyway, so that was an interesting fact that I wasn't aware of. They just, once they did the miniature shots, they just reused it for the rest of the series. And it was also in Metamorphosis, Let This Be Our Last Battlefield, I think, and Way to Eden.
Let This Be Your Last Battlefield. Really?
That's what it said on the interwebs. I had read that somewhere.
Did they if you count the doors to the landing bay opening and you see the Galileo in the distance, it was also in
then Journey to Babel would count.
Journey to Babel and the Amoeba one.
Definitely was in the Immunity Syndrome. Absolutely was in that one. Yeah,
so if you count those, it's been in a few more.
Doomsday Machine. Although that was probably the Columbus. Which one did Decker die in?
Well, that's the confusing part because spoiler alert, at the end of Galileo 7, the Galileo is destroyed.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other Galileos, but the only one I think they put Galileo 2 on was not Journey to Babel, Way to Eden.
Way to Eden.
I think they finally put the Galileo 2 on it. Yeah. Which is one of the other few that they actually show the big model art, the one that we're working on.
So actually, people walking in and out of or climbing on the model is only in 3 episodes, which is considering how big it was and how much they had to store it. You thought they would have used it a little bit more, but
so
nobody told the writers.
It's funny rewatching this episode, and I've seen it I don't know how many times, and I kind of applied my nitpicky meter to it, what I do with current modern Star Trek, and I was kind of like, well, there's a lot to nitpick in this one if you really want to get, because my one of my first questions is, why are they sending the shuttlecraft out when clearly the Enterprise itself could have gone to this planet or into the quasar and done
Murasaki effect?
Yeah. Why send this little shuttle in there when clearly the Enterprise was only affected by interference, but the ship itself.
So apparently you don't understand the effect that large metal objects have on the Murasaki effect. That it would change the readings. They had to spend a small metal object into that effect.
Distorted
well, apparently that
would
was
have completely screwed up the readings.
If you're gonna get that nitpicky, you should ask questions like, why no seatbelts?
Yeah.
Why did it take 6 people to go?
Why did the chairs rock?
Yeah. Well, the chairs those were the cool chairs. Those chairs were made
she
for
throw
that.
herself forward on her knees.
From what I believe James told me, those chairs were not found items. Those were created for that set.
He has one though, doesn't he?
He has one.
He does.
He has one.
He has a rocking chair. I have mistakenly sat in it before.
You can't sit in it because it has to be bolted to the ground.
Yeah, it has to be bolted because it rocks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just falls over.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that didn't really make sense. Like, why was McCoy there? Like, what?
Why send the doctor?
Why, and the one thing I noticed, the one thing I did notice watching this was Scotty was the chill guy.
He was
like, he was like totally calm through the whole thing. He was just like, he's sitting there.
Maybe he should have.
He's doing his draining his phaser deal. And they're having this argument, and Scotty goes, well, he goes to comment like, well, good luck with that. Like, basically,
Scotty's like, hey, I landed on Omaha Beach. This is nothing.
Yeah, Scotty.
I just thought he was like mellow through the whole thing. He's like, whatever. I'm just draining my phaser.
He's
you guys
fixing things.
Yeah. So
when he opened that panel and showed 7 phasers all in that one panel, I just like, that's amazing.
It is.
Yeah, all those phasers all in one place. It's $7 million worth of equipment right there in that little.
Non-Galileo related, but I couldn't help but notice that this episode also had a couple interesting things for the bridge. It had one of the very few overhead shots of the bridge, and then earlier there's a scene where Kirk's pacing the perimeter of the bridge, and you actually get to see like what's past.
It's one of the few episodes they use the 360
Spock's
bridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they really, if you notice, it looked good. Yeah, it looked good, but it really became I know it was hard for them to shoot anything other than that overhead shot because the size of those cameras and to get them in there into the space and do it, it was, that's why they always took that wedge out.
Like for the pacing, they had to have flown the view screen and maybe.
I'm guessing because there were so few bridge shots in that show, because it all happens on planet, that they set it up that way because they had the time.
Yeah, this was one of the first episode that was Spock centric. And one thing that always kind of never made sense to me either was, they kept saying this is Spock's first command. I'm like, he's a commander. He didn't get to be a commander without having some command of his own on the landing party or something before that. It's just not really his first command. I think
that was just Bones digging at him a little bit.
Well, that's what Bones does a good job of digging at him.
Yeah, he does.
Bones does a good job of digging at him.
Bones.
So of course they land on the planet and then they find these giant ape-like creature things, with spears, and whatnot. And of course, who gets it first? Latimer gets it first, right?
Yeah, Dave's.
Yeah, Latimer gets it first.
Yeah.
And then poor Gaetano, depending of how you pronounce it, John Marshall kind of pronounced it, I think, different than everybody else did. But I thought Don Marshall's character was a little over the top, though. What do you guys think as far as
good.
Kind of a chain of command thing? He was kind of out of line a lot.
Yeah.
He was, and he honestly, if this was a real emergency situation, he would not be worried about burying people and stuff like that.
No, I mean, and if I was the dead guy, I'd be like, "Don't worry about my dead body if it's going to make everybody else
I
live."
think that guy may have had a problem with Vulcans in particular, and that might have been part of his attitude.
I'm getting sick and tired of this guy.
A lot of people have trouble with Vulcans on this show. Yeah.
Aliens. Xenophobia.
Xenophobia.
Yeah, it's a great theme.
Well, the other thing that I thought was a little out of character for Spock was when he starts kind of questioning himself. I did everything right. I took the steps, the proper order.
That was out of character for Spock.
And he was kind of like, he was distracted. And I'm like, that seemed he doesn't seem like he would kind of break down.
The whole
like
episode
that.
was out of character for Spock. And I think Leonard said as much at some point. Because I think I read that this was not one of Leonard's favorites.
Interesting.
No, that's correct. Yeah, he thought it made Spock look weak, which it did.
And I agree with him. I absolutely agree with him.
Yeah.
Well, that him sending up a flare at the end, which actually is probably more in line with, I believe that is a procedure. The military would, in a military situation, they would do as a desperate kind of last digit. Let's just fire off the fuel and hope somebody sees the thing. Because it was a kind of an interesting ending. How they and this is so typical of most shows of the era. They're joking with Spock, and I'm like, well, 2 guys are dead. You guys are laughing, but
hey,
they did that at the end of Doomsday Machine, where like a whole crew, and then and the planet was blown up with people and everything, and they're like, it always cracks me.
Yeah. But aren't we glad that Kirk didn't just take off? Kirk slowly turned around and slowly walked away, looking behind himself several times. You know what I mean? He didn't just. Yeah, it just, the whole thing was a little bit.
That whole end thing with the laughing was probably one of the worst parts, because I thought it did seem.
But they do that every week, so after a while,
it was so forced though.
Yeah.
We got to end on a happy note. That's what that is. And
end on a happy note.
All's well that ends well.
End with Nichelle leaning on the back of her chair in the oddest position,
Yeah, she's waiting. It was clearly they were going to set Spock up. Okay, here we're going to set him up. We're going to set him up to admit that he had an emotional outburst.
Yeah.
So you.
And there are plenty of other episodes that demonstrated that much more clearly. So I think.
Oh yeah, well, I think because during the Enterprise incident, when he realized that Kirk is really alive.
Yeah.
Oh no, Amok Time.
That was
Amok Time. He thought he was dead.
Yeah, Amok Time.
And he had Jim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was Amok Time. Yeah.
It was at the end of Amok Time. And he goes, Jim, and he goes,
I shall do neither.
You're not going to admit that for 1 second you had an emotional outburst. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving in.
I don't know why, but I always had a thing about Commissioner Ferris's silly little mini cape on the back of him there. I always thought that looked stupid for some reason. I don't know why. Somebody just didn't have enough fabric, and he got.
And you know what they called him? You notice they called him Galactic High Commissioner, because at the time they hadn't written the Federation into the story yet.
Oh, really? How late?
There's no Federation yet, so they called him Galactic High Commissioner. In later episodes, when they had somebody of that, it was Federation High Commissioner.
That was Gene L. Kuhn. He's the one that invented the Federation and the Klingons. So that was much later. Yeah, much later.
Yeah, that whole character, mini cape and all, his sole function was just to come up to the bridge and be like,
yes,
2 hours.
Exactly.
They've done that before. There was with Ambassador during A Taste of Armageddon. They've done
whenever there's an ambassador on board or step-in commander, they're just there.
They're just hanging out on the bridge.
They went back to
command,
that,
he lives there.
Even during what's the one when they get old there? Where they
Deadly
age?
Years.
Deadly Years, the same thing, where you have a Commodore who's anxious to get to his command, and he takes command, but he's never commanded a starship, and he takes him into the neutral zone.
Yeah,
because he's an idiot. Because I'm thinking, even if you get to Commodore level, even though you may not have commanded a ship, which doesn't make any sense because Commodores are in charge of multiple ships. That's kind of what a Commodore is. But that you wouldn't know that it's a bad idea to go through the neutral zone.
Well, it's a Commodore is also, if someone's a captain rank on a ship, they call him Commodore because there can only be one person called captain, right? So they promote him.
I don't know, but again, I don't know. Protocol generally is somebody has Commodore level, they are captain level, but they are in charge of multiple ships. So it's almost like sub admiral. Usually, Commodore has several ships under their command. I mean, at least in the Navy, I assume. But it could be in Starfleet. It could be just a rank level, and don't mean
right. You could be appointed Commodore too without having any starship experience.
Well, clearly that was the case because
you seem like a bureaucrat. Yeah.
Clearly that was the case because So they've gone to that kind of thing where you have this kind of, ambassador or somebody kind of annoying Kirk into doing something or trying to get him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
But I think, getting back to the Galileo and the show, I think this episode, among most of more than any of the other ones that have the shuttle in it, kind of what Doug was saying, well, it was really Mike Okuda had said that the purpose of the shuttle is to get our characters into trouble.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle for getting them into trouble. And I think that's a really good analogy or at least explanation that, that's really because it did fit when I was saying, why did they send the shuttlecraft into this quasar instead of just taking the big ship? Didn't make any sense because that was the story. It was to get these guys into trouble.
Right.
So we had to put them on a shuttlecraft.
That damn transporter was so much trouble for the writers because just beam them up. Beam them up.
It made things too easy in a lot of ways.
Too easy. Yeah.
Because it's like, we'll just beam them out. We'll just beam them out.
Now say hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining. Bill Sotak is asking, what is space normal speed? And I too would like to know what is.
Not
is it like 1/4 impulse?
It's got to be speed of light, right?
Anything under speed of light.
Space normal speed's under speed of light, not speed of light.
Well, under space normal, because you go to warp, warp is over speed of light. So I would think.
Is it the 60 miles an hour of the space?
Well, I think it's when they call impulse power and stuff like that. So it's going up very fast, but not superluminal.
But not impulse power. Impulse power is the slowest.
Well, impulse is everything below warp. So warp is once you go.
You can go near the speed of light on impulse.
Yeah, they never really clear on speeds with that, but
they never.
Even still, my point is, it's. I think the idea was that it was anything under. It wasn't going to warp. That's what the point was. That
I took it as slow because it was part of. It was when Kirk was like, "Okay, we're leaving."
Yeah, we're gonna just go. We're gonna walk away instead of run.
We're gonna slowly walk away.
Right.
Which is interesting because when he finally get the crew on board and then he finally goes, "Okay, Mr. Cthulhu, warp factor 1." Wouldn't you say no? Full speed, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. That's how they're late. So warp
because we're late. Yeah. And it never did crack me up. It's like, if this drug was needed on New Paris so badly? I think it was New Paris, right? Why was there this 2-day wait? Why weren't they going right away to New Paris or to wherever it was going to?
For that matter, just go warp 10, go there, drop the stuff off, warp 10 back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that, again, once you can't drill down too far.
It's all writers' convenience.
Not that kind of show, kid.
I'm looking at trivia over here, and someone is saying, and this could be wrong, this is the first instance we see Spock giving us something along the lines of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the dead in this case.
It was kind of the first time.
He doesn't say it quite that way.
No, he doesn't say it, but it's implied that he's saying, hey, somebody's going to have to stay behind. So, shh.
Yes, that John Capes is saying warp speed. Yeah, warp speed is so 1 is speed of light, 2 is 10 times, 3 is 100 times, 4 is then it goes up very quickly.
Exponentially goes faster.
Exponentially now. Yeah.
Which is why they theoretically could never hit warp 10 because you turn into a lizard.
It's too many zeros. Yeah.
John Capes was also asking about these shirts. They're kind of cool. We found them on eBay. They're 35 years old, and they're from when there was I'm looking it up. It was when Lynn Miller had acquired the Galileo, and there was a restoration process.
Ohio 91, yeah.
And Brian and I snagged them off of eBay. They're wonderful. Yeah. and old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
They smell like mothballs.
Perfume.
Yours.
Strangely enough.
Okay.
Mine smells fine, Brian. I don't
This
know
is
where-
fine. Oh, mine was perfumey. I washed it as soon as I got it because it's like, oh, this was in a woman's closet.
That's great.
Was
Yeah,
it-
these are vintage.
was it the same seller that had both of them, or were they just happened to have two different people had them?
They were two different sellers. They'd probably been sitting on there forever because no one was thinking about it until I spotted one and alerted Brian, and then we were able to score them. Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, these are old. Cool. Part of the Galileo's gypsy history.
Yeah, and it does have
it
quite
does
the
have a bit of a
history,
gypsy history.
of where it. We talked about that in the other show, how it originally was, built by AMT because they got the deal to make the models. So they said, we'll build this thing for you. You give us the license for the models. and as I said on the other show, I'm like, the reason that, like I said, if the studio had built it, it would have been like half a shuttle.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been even the whole thing, it would have been this made out of
and it would have been
cardboard practically.
in pieces.
And it would never survive, that's for sure. So we're lucky that that happened and that we have it here to be able to display it. But then after the show was over, it got sold to the School for the Blind.
Donated.
Yeah,
Donated it or something. Which I don't know what they would have done with it. Like, what was the
Jim Payne just related a crazy story about that. Is new news. I guess someone got in touch with him who was there when it arrived, and when it came with chairs, and it came with a sort of basic console that was built into it, probably for visuals when you were shooting for people getting out. So there was, according to that person, chairs that were in it and consoles, because it came straight from the studio to the School for the Blind. And Jim also found out that there was like some financial connection between the School of the Blind and the studio. It didn't just randomly get there, that somehow maybe somebody from the studio supported the School for the Blind. I mean, there was a connection that caused that.
I guess my question still is, what were they going to do with it? What did they do with it?
I don't know.
Like what was it?
I'm
I'm trying to figure out
guessing
what the School for the Blind would need.
something along the lines
What
of
did the School for the Blind need with a starship?
something along the lines of, we're going to throw this thing away. As long as you're throwing it away, why don't you take it to here and the kids can play on it like a play set, because it's a spaceship.
And not all kids there were blind completely. There was kids there who were legally blind as well.
Right. No, I know. I'm sure there were. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
it
does seem like an odd place for it to land. No pun intended.
It was, and I guess he uncovered there was a connection between the studio and the school.
Yeah.
And
From
some logic,
from there, it
But that
ended
was
up getting passed around. I think from collector to collector who had it in their yard, and ended up in a junkyard, I guess, for a long time.
This is an
RV park.
This is a great teaser for Sunday, because Jim from Trek World is an expert on locations and dates on the shuttle, and we'll have him go over it when he's here, when he's with us on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
Apparently
be.
It got lost for a while because then somebody finally found it on Google Earth. Is what I heard. Yeah. So it must have gone into obscurity for a while.
He's probably got the most complete history of everywhere it's been, and it's been more places than people thought.
And he's going to make a documentary, and he's going to end it with our christening. So it's a perfect marriage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Cool.
Yeah. All sorts of crazy information. This thing has been all over, man. But I loved its feature on this episode. I remember as a kid just being like drawn in by all the detail of the shuttle.
Well, you get to see the inside. And here's the thing. I think, is it fair to say that this is the episode that caused most viewers to think that you could climb in this thing and the inside would look like it did on the the show? And I think people are going to come to see us thinking that.
That's
and
probably
the inside is a completely different set.
Yeah, we get that question so much. Is it going to have the interior? Is it going to have the interior? Is it going to have the interior? And like they were saying, it had the only interior it had was just enough for when the doors open, you could see what looked like maybe a chair and the console, and that's it.
And that's what
It didn't have, because you couldn't even stand up in the thing. You know what I'm saying? And you see Spock, who's, I don't know how tall was Leonard. He was over 6 feet, and he's standing up at the thing, walking around. So it's clearly not the same thing. And it's like, I love that it has the back room that opens up, and there's like another storage area, and I don't know where the engine ever supposed to be.
Yeah, it has 2 rooms, and there's other stuff.
It has like space back there. Yeah, there's all kinds of room in there. So,
do you guys think
he's like Boma, and they come trotting in from the back room like they
did.
That's where the loo is.
The bathroom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, John, it's a TARDIS.
It is.
Bill wants to know what we did with the old shuttle. I think it got dumped, Bill. I don't know.
What's that?
The kids' shuttle that we used to have.
Oh yeah, that I think James got rid of it because it was falling apart and it was becoming a hazard. It didn't like being outside.
It wasn't really
imagine that.
It wasn't built for being outside. That was from a science museum down in New Jersey, I think it was, or something.
Yeah, that was.
Got that from? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it served its purpose for when it was there, but
and people liked it. Like I always saw people hanging out in it or on it.
Did. Yeah,
it was cool. It made noises. You push buttons and it would make different sounds and stuff. Yeah, it was cool to play on.
Do you guys think we should make some fake boulders for the Galileo scene, and then it could come running toward the guests as they get the tour?
I think we've had some volunteers to dress up as the gorilla guys.
The big furry suit.
Yeah, and have somebody get speared.
It would be kind of cool to just maybe leaning in the corner. Those big spears. We make a couple of those big spears. Just have those leaning in the corner. So, I did like in this scene that in Scotty, they're going to electric because they're beating on the hull and with rocks, and Scotty goes, "We're going to electrocute the hull," and he just pulls off this little thing, and there's a car battery.
Car battery.
He just takes the right.
Those black gloves he has on.
Those big rubber just happen to have those.
Well, picture show.
I never noticed it, but what he uses is a fireman's hose spanner. What he uses to arc the battery.
Really?
I actually have one because I was a fireman. And I used to keep one in my turnout show. And I just realized. I said the other day. I just realized I've had a Scotty tool for decades, and I never knew. But yeah, it's a very unique shaped thing, and it's meant for tightening, and you usually have 2 of them so you can break the screw connection on fire hoses.
Wait, so you weren't kidding? You have the actual tool, the same one?
Yeah, I have one. Yeah,
there's still
a thing.
Is it within range?
It's in the garage. It'd take me 5 minutes to go get it.
Bring it Sunday. Bring it on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll bring it Sunday. Yeah,
bring it Sunday.
As you're talking about the episode,
I have a picture. Hang on, I have a picture of it. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. Coffee talk, and I have a picture I can call up.
Scotty should have said, "I'm going to Captain Nemo their ass." You guys get that reference? Captain Nemo in 20,000 Leagues electrocuted the natives and the squid. Yep, same thing. Electrified hull.
All right, this is what it looks like.
And that is the
really. Thing. Jeez, that looks like a Klingon.
So the bottom part, is what hooks on the knobs of the hose of the coupling. So usually you have 2 of them. So you do this to tighten more, And then the other thing is just a pry tool.
That's what he used.
That's what he used.
You connect the hose to the fire hydrant with that?
No, to any hose to hose. Yeah, you could use the hydrant, but on the coupling of the hoses, there's like these little pins that hook thing on the bottom locks into.
Okay.
I mean, this is a great found object moment.
I wonder if they planned that, or if they just yanked it out of a fire hose station.
It might have been. Who knows? It might have been like in the fire. They have the thing with the fire hoses.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking
standpipe system. might have
broke the
been in there
glass
and
and
somebody
grabbed
thought
the
this
wrench.
looks kind of cool. I was surprised that nobody really knew this. I thought I was being like, oh, this is everybody. You guys know all this stuff. You know what this stuff.
No, I thought it was just a wrench. I assumed it
No,
was
it's
just a wrench.
not.
too.
It's that. Look at it again. It's that
I
thing.
will.
It looked like a wrench.
But anyway, it was just
Yeah,
funny because he had this little
I thought it was-
box, and then he goes and puts it all back together. Got to save some fuel to ignite the engines that don't run on fuel, but
Well, they
I
run on
know.
phaser batteries now or something.
apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
phaser
picked
batteries.
up? Like they were
But if
using
it's
the
warp
phasers.
capable, it should have a warp core somewhere and drive and everything, right?
They were using the phasers to get them some. First, they lost all the fuel. Then they used the phasers to get themselves airborne again.
Mm-hmm.
So then, yeah, what did he dump and ignite?
The fuel, like what I'm saying, it's like it's
We don't
a
know.
plasma. We'll call it. I don't know.
Plasma. There you go. Plasma. Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's
It's
why
not
we
that
love
kind of
Star
movie,
Trek.
kid.
They kind of yada yada some of the details.
Yeah. I mean, can you get to warp speed without the lithium crystals? I thought the lithium.
I don't know,
crystals
but I mean, it has
required.
nacelles, therefore we would suspect it.
It's
is
it's a warp
They just
capable
wanted
ship.
to get up so they could call for help.
But I mean, the menagerie, when they're chasing the Enterprise, they're running out of fuel as well. They had to drift at
Yeah.
the end.
It is a mechanism for getting characters into trouble.
Yes.
It's really not a very reliable form of transportation.
No, it's not. They're
Because
crashing all the time.
even in Menagerie they ran out of fuel. And then what happened with it was the entity in Metamorphosis that grabbed them. So it wasn't really the shuttle's fault.
Yeah, it kind of landed them. It downed them.
Yeah. But one of the things I noticed, if you compare this to like the next gen shuttles, this one is just, to me, it's still better. If you go to like the more modern, because especially with the next gen had the little tiny one. Remember the little tiny shuttle? It was like the door opened up the back.
Yeah,
and it was like,
the Akutas talked about that on our video. They said that ship had to be designed to fit in the room they were using as a hangar deck.
as a hangar
set.
deck.
Right. So they had to shrink the shuttle to fit
It's
on
a
the
little
hangar
tiny
deck set
thing.
that they had. Yeah.
It's like the smart car of shuttles.
Yes.
They did eventually make a bigger one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Eventually they had, and then of course, when we got to DS9, they had the runabouts, which I think were really cool design.
Hey, Mike, I just dropped.
And there's what kind right there.
I just dropped the
That's
picture
the
of him with
inspection pod.
Yeah.
That's when that was the inspection pod when they were
on
checking
our
out.
Facebook thread.
When
I
it was
just
just
dropped the
ship porn.
picture of him with the fork in his gloves. If you want to grab
Oh
it.
wait, what was this one?
Okay, let me see if I can get it. That's an inspection pod. That's like the worker
Well, that's
bee or
also
something they
inspection.
call
That's
it.
a worker bee. That's a worker bee.
Yeah. Let me see, Dave.
I dropped it in our group.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking. I got it. Yeah, so there you can see it. It's not really good that angles, but let me see if I
Oh
can.
yeah, look at that. It's smaller than I thought.
Let me
from
see
your
if I can
picture.
share with the group. Hold on.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You showed the picture and I thought it was the size of a bat lev. It's not. It looks like a wrench.
No, it's
Tuning
about
fork
the
wrench.
size of a wrench.
Yeah.
You know.
Look at all the pretty pictures, you guys. So many good shots in this stupid thing. And I don't usually go for pop culture stuff.
I can't do it. Let me separate.
You don't? But you like Star Trek? Wait.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't fangirl over it.
There we go.
I mean,
Okay,
most
so
of these pictures
there it
are
is.
stuff you've seen before.
So there he is. It's not a great
But see
photo.
how it looks like a wrench?
Yeah, it
does look
does.
like a
But
wrench,
if you
but
look
it's
at
got
it, so the picture that I showed you is 90 degrees to where how he's holding it.
Yeah, there's a little tuning fork on the end there. that
Okay,
you
yeah.
can
go
see.
downstairs,
Yeah,
find
yeah.
it, and
So
show us
if you-
all on
yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is. That's it. I'm telling you because he does eventually turn it sideways, and you can really tell. So
Huh. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I get a sideways shot from Trek Core, but I really.
yeah,
We'd have
yeah,
to
we
get
can do
one.
that. Save that for Sunday. We got to
there
have
it
him
is
come
on
out
the
for
floor.
something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is on the floor, and you can see it. Yeah.
So, Rizzo,
Okay.
are you donating this artifact to James? To
No,
Put it on the wall.
that's
Mine.
why.
You can- the thing is,
That's
go
why.
on. You just Google
just go down to the fireman station.
fire hose wrench, and you'll see like a million different ones. That one's probably more vintage. because it's probably at least from the 70s, the one that I have.
It's Ticonderoga. I'm sure if we go to the fire station, they'll have
They
them.
probably have them. They're still using them. They're still a thing.
Yeah.
This is not an old tool. It's still current.
I dropped you one that's a better look at it on the floor. When he sets it on the floor, you can see it better.
All right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, son of a gun. I know.
He doesn't believe
This is
he
fun
has no
stuff.
research.
Now, this, Mary Beth, is where we live. This kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah,
where
that's
you
a good.
guys
That's
live.
you can kind of tell that's what it is.
This is exciting. Okay.
Yeah. A new thing.
A newfound object.
I
Mike,
guarantee
Oh, I need to go on. Should I go on? No, I
Mike?
won't go on. No, I won't
I
go
will
on
never
Fleet Workshop
understand.
because next thing
I
you know,
will
there'll be a run
never
on
Never
people
understand.
trying to buy fire
it
hose.
is fabulous.
Yeah, better go get one now. 'Cause I guarantee you both Dave and James will have one before the end of the year.
I can't
I
believe James
don't
didn't know
need
that.
one.
Guarantee it.
James will want one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll
I'll
need
bring it
one
up
on
to
the
him next
side.
time. I'm going. Look what I have.
You need one on the set to short out car batteries in the back of the Galileo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You
just
need this.
have to
If you're
get one
going to
there.
short out a battery, you have to have one of these.
Yeah.
It's lucky he didn't weld it to the battery.
Yeah.
That's why you do it really fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
that
done
photo
with
you
other
can
things by accident.
see it on the floor, and that's definitely what it is. It's crazy.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
job, man.
Oh,
We're gonna
there's
post you on Fleet Workshop as official discoverer of found object.
Yeah, I would have never. I'm surprised that honestly that nobody didn't know already. I didn't think it was like I didn't think I had some kind of epiphany.
John Capes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on eBay, all those fireman wrenches just shot up in value.
Right, exactly.
Identify
Everybody's looking
them.
at fire wrenches now.
Like,
Nothing
like a
People wait
Graflex.
for
Maybe
Fire-
the, damn it, the
supply
Graflex
company.
flash attachment. You'll never be able to get one in about
Yeah.
6 months because they'll all be
Right.
gone. Yeah, it's just
It was
giant
like
flash.
Yeah, there's going to be like a poor of the firemen aren't going to be able to get their wrenches anymore because they're all going to be
That's right,
sitting on
yeah.
people's shelves.
Right.
Those gloves are great. They're like glitter gloves.
They're
They've
glitter.
got
I think they
glitter
were
on them.
oven mitts. I don't know that for a
The,
fact.
the
but I would
rubber
suspect.
gloves that he had, I thought they were
Yeah.
just like insulated.
No, they look. Put that picture back.
Oh
up. It
yeah,
looks
they're like
sparkly.
yeah, you're right. Those are. I think they made those for the
Oh,
That
show.
looks like something
Maybe they
It's
weren't
in-
meant to play with
it was-
for.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean they're
Yeah.
not like. I thought originally,
They
you
look
know, that
sequined.
I thought they were just like big rubber, like insulated. Like you go to
Yeah.
No,
like
they
a
look quilted.
hardware
If
type store.
you're a Lost in Space fan, the Satacons had costumes made of the same material from the 60s. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 60s
We'll have to tell Roy that. Roy knows everything about Lost in Space.
Satacon. It was a Satacon fabric.
Yeah.
He's an expert on.
Oh,
space
Roy
things.
is? Oh, good. I talked to him on Friday. We'll see about that.
You guys are going to be on there. We'll be in there with you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, remind me, and I'll grab the spanner. It's sitting. The funny thing, it's on the pegboard in my garage, and I'm not even sure what I'm like, oh, it's a tool, so it goes on the pegboard.
Yeah.
But Rizzo, I
I've
must
just
ask,
had it for
do
decades.
you
I mean, I haven't been a
have
fireman
the
since the
need
'80s,
for a
so
fireman's wrench? Like, do you have fire hoses and things to attach them to at your house that you need?
no,
as
I do
wrench?
I have a leather fire helmet hanging right there that I used to have. That traditional looking fireman's helmet. And I did have my turnout jacket, but it was so ratty, I finally threw it away because it was just like falling apart. It was just because it was used when I bought it because stuff was so expensive, and my department didn't give you stuff. If you wanted your own gear, you had to buy it.
Or what? Turn up in your T-shirt?
No, they had stuff. They were really. I'm sure they've changed now because this is like 30 years ago. They used to have gear on the trucks, but the stuff on the trucks was like jackets and the really high hip boots that go all the way up to your hips, the
Mhm.
rubber boots, and helmets. So you kind of had to buy your own gloves, but you could grab the stuff off the truck, which never fit because you never could find the size that fit you. So either I had stuff that was too big for me, or so you ended up wanting to buy your own stuff so that when you got there, because you usually got there before the truck did, because you're all volunteers, you could have all your turnout gear on ready to go. So I still have stuff. I even have one of those, the fiberglass yellow looking ones that are more modern. I have one of those down the basement somewhere too.
Do you have a shield with 51 on it?
Actually, well, my shield is actually it's engine 50. Was it 52 was the ladder truck.
Oh, so close.
Yeah. I used to love Emergency. That was such a great show.
Jack Webb show, 2 guys in a truck.
And really, that show was pretty
Jack
accurate. With the only exception was which they do in every TV show that has a fire, is the smoke.
Smokeless
Other than
fire.
that, the show was pretty accurate. Otherwise, most fires is like, if you want to see what it's like in a fire, do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's about your visibility level, because you can't see nothing. And I've been through it, so I know exactly. It's true. You can't see shit. So anyway, hey, we're almost at the end of the hour. Look at that. And we didn't really talk that much about stuff. I feel bad that people came here to have a dissection of the Galileo 7, and we didn't really do that.
We hit the high points.
I'm surprised that the ape-like creatures didn't run away when they took out their fireboxes and started vaporizing people. You think they'd go, you know what? I think
but they didn't shoot them. Remember, that was the whole thing.
They are definitely more primitive.
Well, that was the point, though. Yeah. Spock didn't kill them. He didn't shoot at them. He just got near them. So that's what they're saying. If you had killed
it wasn't even a thing then, so they need to worry about it.
Yeah, that was the argument that Gaetano was making, or not Gaetano, Don Marshall's character.
Momo.
I forgot. Anyway, he was saying, we should, kill them, and then they'll be like, okay, we're not going to mess with those guys. He just pissed him off. Didn't you think they would have an emotional reaction, Mr. Spock?
And there was no prime directive yet, so they could have said, "Hey, we're gods." So,
yeah. They could have been like that. Well, I think anybody would be prime directive. I'm not getting a spear through my gut.
But even with their phasers, they fired their phasers. Even just random shots should have. Yeah, you're right.
You think it would have frightened him, but apparently it had the opposite effect. Just made him angry.
Whatever. Yeah. Made him angrier.
What you didn't see was the 2 feet sticking out from under the shuttle that had striped socks on.
Toes curled up. Yeah. You killed my sister.
Anyway,
that would be a very funny photograph. We'll have to stage that photograph.
Let's stage that one. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we are at the end of the hour. Thanks, guys. For coming. Any last? This is the pitch for the Kickstarter.
Oh, now tune in Sunday. And watch us count it down. And hopefully sell out.
Roy.
We've still got some tickets left for the christening, where you're in the room when George and Walter crash the bottle on the shuttle, and so those tickets left. We still have tickets left for watching it happen on the bridge, and you still get all the goodies with it too, the patches and the hats and the shirts. So pledge now. Sunday we're bringing this thing in.
We are starting the countdown.
Yeah, we could use people who are thinking about committing. This between now and Sunday is a great time to jump in with us. It's a great cause for the Galileo.
Yep, get your name on that wall.
Be a part of history. Get on that wall, because it's going to be there until they who knows?
Yeah,
forever.
Yep.
I don't know. Roy obviously is doing Metamorphosis. We'll all be there on Roy's show Friday, so you're going to see us all over again on Friday.
The other Galileo, the other Galileo episode.
Roy's Metamorphosis, the one that introduces us to Zephyr Cochrane.
Yeah.
Phil, I can tell you that Phil is interviewing members of the band Rephistramus. And his buddy shows Destiny, the Voice of Science Fiction. He has a major article in Radio World this month. Go check that out. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing next week. It'll be all over by then. We can report on what happened, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come up with it by Friday, and we can say on Roy's show.
We can say on Roy's show for once, because he always asks me, and I'm always like,
I don't know. Just tell him just to watch us, Roy. You know me. I always figure it out on Monday morning.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. And thank you for all the work you guys were doing on this project. It is important, and I hope people realize how important it really is to preserve this thing and to have it where people can enjoy it. I think that's the important part. You know, we want to see it. We don't want it packed away in a warehouse where nobody can see it. So
exactly.
It's a piece of history.
Yeah, piece of television.
It very much is. Yeah, it's exciting. And it's going to be a big addition to what James has already done there, and to take it to a next level. So very cool.
Okay. All right. On that note, we'll say good night. Live long and prosper.
Night.
And as always, may the force be with you. Always.